You had to have been in a cave somewhere in the last 10 years or so. If you have not heard of this brother, he is doing some phenomenal things, whether he's talking about your finances, whether he's talking about just black liberation, our struggle for self-determination. And when I saw that he was coming to town, I was glad he's reaching out. He is coming for to be a part holding the All-Black National Convention at the Shrine of the Black Madonna.
Yes, sir.
Now, is that the title, Doc?
Yes, the All Black National Convention. I'll tell you, brother. First of all, I want to say thank you for having me. I should make sure I'm appropriately respectful.
Man, let me tell you. Here's the thing: for the work you do, thank you for coming, because there are a lot of people just out here just talking about it, but you've been writing on it, you've been speaking on it, you've been out front on it, been very vocal, and so it's an honor to have you here. But I just want people to know that it's all black now.
Yeah.
So if you got a Negro perspective, you got an Uncle Tom perspective, you a professional bootlicker, this is not the place. This just ain't the place. I ain't even got to let Doc say that. If you a professional bootlicker, you coming with some conspiracy theory. If you ain't coming to really get grimy and get in the trenches, just don't show up at. Our brothers visit the city. I'm just going to say that one who, as I said, I'm from here, they come here. And so don't come here with all that. The Doc ain't got time for all of that. He got some serious folks who are coming here and looking for solution-based and people who are not narrow-minded, closed-minded, to think that your way is the only way. So, Doc, tell us about what this convention is and why it is.
Well, I'm going to tell you, brother, the All Black National Convention, everything was deliberate about how it was named. I moved forward on faith. I didn't know if we'd even have the money to really pull it off the way I wanted to. But I did know I didn't want no corporate sponsorship. I'm not trying to bring you black liberation brought to you by McDonald's, or whatever. I just don't feel that that's authentic in terms of what we really need as a people. I think that for our collective self-esteem and our dignity, we must show ourselves first and then the world that we are capable of taking care of ourselves. So we're capable of building and developing that which we need in our community, because there's billions of dollars worth of human resources in our community that's untapped. So we use the term all black, not to say that you have to be black to be in, but that the agenda is all black.
Yeah, we will take some abolitionists.
There you go. There you go.
We've always had abolitionists. I'll tell people, I'm black to the core, but we always have had abolitionists, people from different hue who have come and are down with our agenda. I'll take Dr. Jane Elliott to come to my conference and talk about race in very serious ways. So there are people out there who are doing the work. Give us a sense of what's going to happen over the course, and give us actual days and time. Of course, at the Shrine of the Black Madonna, but tell us the days that this is going to happen. The day.
Well, it's going to be you said the Shrine of the Black Madonna, which has been just extraordinary in terms of helping us prepare for this. Basically, we're going to be there from September 15th through the 17th. So 3 days, 15th, 16th, and 17th. 2 sessions per day, an afternoon session and an evening session. Several panels, 3 film screenings, Hidden Colors 4. Tariq, I talked to Tariq Nasheed, he agreed to let us screen the film. Resurrecting Black Wall Street, The Blueprint, Generation 1 by Lamar Tyler. All these films that relate to building and giving our community what we need. But in addition to that, we're going to have panels with many experts from diverse walks of life that will help us to address and create constructive solutions to that which plagues us, everything from police brutality to the wealth gap and black unemployment, to problems in the corrupt educational system, to the lifting the voices of our sisters and black women, to the issues being faced by black men. And we're launching actually a black political party and also a national organization for black men called Black Men United, because we believe that black males need more direct advocacy. Black Lives Matter is a beautiful thing, but Black Lives Matter was an organization funded by white liberals who wanted to help out, and I appreciate them helping out. But black men are not a charity case. We are real men, and we have the ability to provide and sustain for our own community without necessarily depending upon the charity of others. So that's what it's all about. It's about independence, and I use the term all black because the whole agenda is just black. You don't have to be black to be there, but we're going to talk about black people the whole time. If you go to the Democratic or the Republican conventions, it's sort of like black people get slid in the cracks, and I just, that bothers me. It's always irritated the hell out of me. And I said, I know we can do better. And so we got great people. David Banner's coming through. We got the hip hop artists, David Banner, Killer Mike, Yurima Karama, but also scientists, Dr. Tyra Selden, Dr. Roosevelt Mitchell III, Dr. Monica Oganda Hasley. We've got entrepreneurship and real estate experts like Jay Morrison, Andre Hatchett, Lene Javette, and different people that are going to bring points of view. We have liberal points of view, like Yvette Carnell. She's very, very liberal. But we actually have a sister that's coming in that's a Trump supporter. And she said, well, am I welcome and I support Trump? I said, look, I don't take a stake in these plantation fights between the Democratic and the Republican parties. I said, look, if you love the community and you think that these ideas are best for your people, I'm going to love you and I'm going to hear you out. Just be ready to defend your point of view. That's what I say to people.
When we come back, we got to get ready to take a break. When we come back, we want you to literally walk us through the days. What's going to happen on Thursday, because this is Thursday through Saturday.
Yes.
And so from Thursday, what's going to happen on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, how people can register, if there's a registration fee process, and lay it all out for us so that people will find it, a baby will find it hard to err in understanding what is the intent, what do you want to see come out of this, and then I want to talk about who do you want to be sitting in that audience, who needs to be sitting there on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. 448-922-2703. If you want to talk to Dr. Boyce Watkins, the People's Scholar, then he is here live in the studio talking about we need to have a black national convention.
Yes.
What is our agenda? Do we have an? Because one of the things they said about this president, y'all know I have some heartburn with him now. Is that, we didn't give him no agenda. Hell, you black. Well, I mean, what kind of agenda do we need to give you? I mean, you understand our agenda. You from Chicago. Mm-hmm. Look at all the things that were happening. So maybe that was a political mistake. What agenda have we put before Hillary? What agenda have we put before Trump? What agenda have we put before Jill Stein and the other parties that are running? And we'll talk about what is the intended outcome. Again, 404-892-2703. If you got a comment, question, you want to know about the convention, you want to be a part of it, we're going to tell you or lay it all out when we come back. Don't go to place. Stick and stay with us. It is Too Much Truth with Derrick Boazman on News and Talk 1380 WAOK. Be in town tomorrow. They're going to be in town. But look, you need to be at the convention. And with all that we do, the most important thing you can invest in is in your community. David Banner, Killer Mike, Judge Olu Stephen, Dr. Roosevelt Mitchell III, Jay Morrison. A lot of folks is going to be coming to town for this all-black national convention held at the Shrine of the Black Madonna right down Rap David Abernathy Boulevard on Thursday the 15th through the 17th. Give us a rundown, Doc. We have in the studio with us Dr. Boyce Watkins, the visionary, who kind of created this opportunity to bring us together, and we should never forsake us coming together.
Yes.
And this brother's serious about the work he do, and if you come and be serious, that's the only thing. If you serious, that's what time it is. It's just the time for just fluffing it and just. That time is up. It's too much happening in these streets with our people for us to have disunity, discord, and disorganization. So talk about the days, what each day is, and what do you want to see come out of this, Doc? What is the end game for you of putting this together?
Well, I want to see this, first of all, I want to see this convention, which people can see the itinerary at allblacknationalconvention.com. That's allblacknationalconvention.com. I want this to be a situation where, number one, we establish a tradition with this. Mm-hmm. I'm not doing this so we can do this one time. I want my great grandkids to be able to finish what we started as well. And also, I want constructive solutions and actions that lead to various forms of political, social, psychological, spiritual, and economic sovereignty for black people. Sovereignty means that we're not always looking for other folks to validate us, to give us permission, to give us resources, to tell us how to do it, what we need to do. We're able to sort of shape our own, not just our own trajectory, but our own point of view, and kind of say, look, well, this is how we feel, and we don't really care what you think.
Yeah.
So much of black life, politically and otherwise, is driven almost from cues from everybody else. the liberals start telling you you're supposed to think this way about, whether it's homosexuality or feminism or anything, we start following suit because we're told to do this.
Oh, absolutely.
And my belief is that I don't really have an issue with how you feel as a black person. I want all ideas on the table, but I don't want you to sort of just come in as an overly assimilated Negro where Master done gave you permission to engage in any form of what you think is critical thought. I think that we have unique relationships with a lot of these things, and I don't want us sort of feeling that this assimilation gives us that validation. And it drives me crazy. Yeah. So with this, to give you a rundown day by day, the first day, I got to even look at the schedule because we plan so much stuff. The first day on Thursday, we're actually going to show the film Resurrecting Black Wall Street, The Blueprint by award-winning director Dorian Chandler. It tells the story about Black Wall Street, the massacre in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It was called the Tulsa Race Riots. That's a lie. It wasn't a riot. It was actually a massacre. And we don't just talk about it. The reason we use the word resurrecting, every word has a meaning when we use it. We use the word resurrecting because we feel that this is a tragedy where the body has to be exhumed, the body of evidence, the body of knowledge.
Certainly.
Yes, so that means that as we resurrect this, number one, every black child in America needs to know this story. I hear Oprah is doing a film on it as well. I'm glad every black child in America should know this story. You'd be amazed how many people I've met in Tulsa who lived on that same street who didn't even know what happened.
Because let me tell you, it's such a powerful story.
Yes.
That they don't want it told. Because it's a story of our self-determination. It's a story of us coming inside this yet-to-be United States of America and said we can be financially sovereign, that we can build communities, we can trade with each other, we can turn the dollar over 12 times, we can have our own planes, we can live in black excellence, we don't have. So I'm just, from that alone, that people need to come and hear this because we have a romanticized notion of what it is, but nobody has really just broke it down and told how did we do, how did we put it together, and what's keeping us from doing that again. Yeah. And so that's going to be a very important story to be told in and of itself.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a story of tragedy, triumph, and unfinished business, right? I mean, those people deserve reparations. There's a lot of reparations that are owed. And then also the tragedy obviously hasn't been properly, those people were not properly mourned for what they lost, in terms of life and financially. A lot of those millionaires died broke. Yeah. Also, there's just so much knowledge there, as you mentioned, in terms of how they did it. If they did it in 1921, we can do it in the year 2021. And so afterward, we don't just sort of put the film up there to get everybody pumped up. We actually have a panel of experts that talk about building a Black Wall Street. And so some of the names I got here in front of me, I got to write them down. Tim Jackson, he's a realtor. He's big in real estate. Rick Mathis, who directed the film Black Friday. Jay Morrison, he's a real estate expert as well. David Anderson, the founder of the Empowerment Radio Network, et cetera, et cetera. And what we do is we just say, okay, you've just watched this movie. Yeah. Now, what are we going to do now? Right. So then that night, I got Miss Zaza Ali coming through. I don't know if you know Zaza, but brilliant sister. And it's going to be Zaza and I doing something. The title we picked is Do Black Lives Really Matter? The Commercialization of Consciousness. And what I like about Zaza is that she first of all, she gives an important voice for black women. I think that sometimes we lose because we don't respect the voices of our sisters the way we should. Also, she's not afraid to say, just to tell the truth wherever it may lie. And so after that, the next day, Friday, we have an afternoon session called Turning Black Families into Economic Empires. And we're going to screen the film Generation One by Lamar and Ronnie Tyler, who founded blackandmarriedwithkids.com. And basically we're going to talk about, passing generational wealth, things like that.
Good stuff. 448-922-2703. Look, we got another segment. We'll come back. I'll tell you how you can register again, where you can get all the information, all the things you need to know. You need to bring your family out. Your whole family should come to this. You need to understand that if it was the opening of, the reason you need to come, Black Wall Street in particular, when some crazy movie open, y'all all rush out. The children, you take them in the rated R movie when they underage. You be telling the boy, close your eyes, but you brought them there. So you need to bring them to understand our history. Of all scholarly endeavors, history is best qualified to reward our research. How the hell you gonna know what's happening to us now if you don't know what happened to us then? And again, I was watching one of the brothers say, we cry forever about 9/11, which coming up in a few days. But Tulsa, they drop bombs on people with planes too. Right? You need to know that history. We'll come back. We're also going to go to our phones. If you got questions for Dr. Boyce Watkins, 448-922-2703. Get you inside that conversation. Brian in Stone Mountain will take your call and any others. And we're going to run this day down to you, tell you how you can get in the house and where you need to be one more time. 448-922-2703. We'll be back in a moment. It's Too Much Truth with Derrick Boazman on News and Talk 1380 WAOK. I'll perform with him. Bad Boy's going to be in town tomorrow. He told me I'm going to ride in the limousine. I'm going to be superstar tomorrow. I may have to dress up.
Bad Boy. The Bad Boy reunion, right?
Yes, it's here tomorrow. It's going to be tomorrow at, what's going to be? Phillips Arena?
Wow. And then I heard Kanye's coming next week. Is that true?
Kanye and Beyonce's coming. It's like a bevy of entertainers.
That's crazy.
What do you mean? I don't want to go ahead.
Well, Kanye and I have a movie coming out this month. Me, Damon Dash, and Kanye West were releasing the film Too Honorable. And so I just wanted to make sure. I got to throw out the shameless plug.
There you go. Tell us about it.
It's Dame's movie, but Kanye and I are executive producers. Kanye provided most of the music, and it's visually and musically very entertaining. Fits a similar genre to like Paid in Full. And so, it was kind of an exploration, because one of the things I really wanted to do is, because I really believe this, is that black people have to find entrees into developing independent abilities to make our own films.
Certainly.
Because a lot of our story is told through film. So, making Resurrecting Black Wall Street, Too Honorable, another film, Steel Justice, about a black athlete who's accused of raping and murdering a white woman. Those are sort of our tiny efforts to try to jump into the industry a little bit, because there's a lot of opportunity there. Like with Tariq Nasheed, what he did with Hidden Colors 4, I thought was one of the most brilliant moves ever.
And built that thing into, it blazed like a wildfire across the country.
Yes, it did.
His Amazon, his distribute. It's just interesting to watch the evolution of it, of this whole thing, how we have been able to bring the ownership of what we create in-house to kind of push it ourselves.
That's right.
Going back to the days where we were exploited by this very system, where folks had to, and the story hadn't even been told. I mean, folks like, what's my man that Michael Jackson bought his masters back and gave it to him. People still don't know. From right here in Macon, what's Little Richard? Richard. I mean, people don't know the story. They didn't own their own stuff. They didn't own the means of getting it out. They didn't control. They didn't put their economic wealth in their own hands. They had to be paid pennies on the dollar for their work. But that has changed. I mean, that has changed.
We should own everything. I mean, things that impact our community directly. Remember, we have enough spending power that if we were a nation, we'd be one of the 10 richest countries on earth. If black people get on the same accord economically in certain areas, we have the ability to go make multi-billion dollar acquisitions. We have the power to do this. And so what I thought was so beautiful, the reason I just literally cheered for Tariq and his film, and I was go, 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 we were helping to sell everything, is because I said people don't understand that this is historic, what he's doing. Yeah. This ain't just like, God bless, like, say, a Kevin Hart or whatever. This ain't like a Kevin Hart movie distributed by Sony, Paramount, and all these other partners. This was a film made by a black man that was pushed through black distribution channels and monetized with black people, and teaching black people information that's going to make us stronger and better at the end. We got to cheer for that. Yeah. We have the ability to control that and create that, man. So I was so excited about that, because that to me is the beginning of, people don't understand, multi-billion dollar industries start with tiny little seeds. Sure. That was a big seed, but it's nothing, in my opinion, compared to what our grandkids will do in 100 years. I guarantee you that much. Yeah.
All right, let's go to Brian real quick. We only got a couple more minutes. We want to tell everybody where they can register. What's the quickest, fastest way to register for the convention?
2 ways. If you want to be there live, go to allblacknationalconvention.com. That's allblacknationalconvention.com. If you can't make it and you want to check us out and connect via live stream, you can go to drboycelivestream.com. That's drboycelivestream.com, and you can sign up for the live stream and be there just like you were in the audience.
And you can do that all over the country. You ain't got to come to Atlanta for that. You can be all over the country.
You can
and
be
out of the
anywhere.
country and watch that.
Yes, sir.
And,
China, Ecuador, it don't matter.
They're going to be on pay-per-view, though. They're going to have to drop a little coin in there.
Oh, everybody has to put some skin in the game because we turn down all corporate sponsorship. This is not black leadership brought to you by McDonald's.
Just like pay-per-view, like you want to watch one of the big fights. And I told them I tried to order the last big fight they had. I forget which one it was. And called Comcast. They said, look here. First, your bill got to be paid up. I said,
there you go.
That's the first problem. And then on top of that, it's $89 in regular definition and $99 in high definition. I said, well, I'm headed over my friend's house to watch because I got to pay the current bill plus the $89. That ain't going to happen. Let's go to Brian in Stone Mountain. Brian, how are you on with Dr. Boyce Watkins? Peace to you. What's on your mind? Real quick, brother. We'll have a couple minutes.
Okay, excellent stuff. You kind of touched on one thing that I wanted to mention, then another thing that I wanted to mention already. This trillion-dollar economy that we say that we have, I was just wondering if you could kind of touch base on it briefly, how we can turn this into an engine to drive our independence.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that's number one. Number two is it possible the police brutality, killings, is it possible to tie in pressure on police unions with some type of divestiture similar to what they did in South Africa when South Africa was fighting for freedom?
All right. Appreciate you, Brian.
Hang up and listen.
All right. Thank you, man.
To answer that question very quickly, number one, just mathematically, again, I was a finance professor for 20 years, so I can verify this mathematically. Black wealth can triple or quadruple overnight if we simply loved each other enough to invest, to just spend maybe 20% of our income in our own community.
Absolutely.
Literally, because dollars circulate like air. So if you spend in your own community, that money literally multiplies itself because different people can use that same dollar. Second of all, we have two people at the All Black National Convention that address those issues. Jay Morrison is actually doing equity-based crowdfunding to help black people make multi-million-dollar acquisitions as a community. Number two, Ken Williams is actually suing police departments across the country. He's a former cop. He's coming to the convention. He's suing police departments across the country for police brutality by taking away their federal funds, and it's working. And I want people to know about what he's doing.
You got to come. You got to come. I'm going to be in Miami. I may try to fly back early. You got to come. These are critical, serious conversations that we need to have with serious people. And so, like I tell, when you sit on the fountain of wisdom, you empty your cup so that it might be refilled. And so come. Don't come with just your philosophy, because if your philosophy down pat and is all together already, then just work your side of the street and let boys and them work their side, and we'll all meet together on the end. Once again, Doc, thank you, man. You at home when you come here, so whenever you're in there, now stop by and holler at us. Okay?
My brother, thank you so much, man. We love you.
We love you back and appreciate you for what you're doing, because there are a lot of people saying, and then there's some of us who are doing. This brother is doing. So, get out to tell them the website again where they can go and register.
Yes. allblacknationalconvention.com. That's allblacknationalconvention.com. The live stream is at drboycelivestream.com. drboycelivestream.com.
Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you.